Today's top stories at NBR: the digital toolkit to tell the New Zealand tech and innovation story, record half-year earnings for PGG Wrightson, tighter responsible lending rules hit Heartland Bank and Harmony, and there's more coming right up. Kia ora and welcome to NBR Today, 100% subscriber funded and proudly brought to you by you, as is every story at nbr.co.nz. It's Tuesday, February 22nd. I'm Paul Brennan. Thanks again for joining us. Move Logistics is upping its freight prices and is not afraid of losing customers by doing so. The NZX-listed freight and contract logistics operator's new executive director, Chris Dunphy, told investors on the half-year results call today, Tuesday, that the freight division hasn't been pulling its weight in terms of EBITDA. Move has been through an ownership shuffle, rebrand and business review in the past year, and reported EBITDA before non-trading costs was down 12.8% to $28.7 million for the 6 months to the end of December, although revenue is up slightly at $183.3 million. Despite being the birthplace of leading-edge digital film effects, autonomously animated AI avatars, and world-beating accounting software, New Zealand is still not internationally renowned for its technology-based industries. It's a deficit the nation's key tech industry players and government agencies have identified and are now partnering to address, in part by creating a unifying sales and marketing story that allows Kiwi tech companies to sing from the same song sheet when vying for international capital, talent and export dollars. The resulting NZ tech and innovation story includes a digital toolkit of assets that can be used by Kiwi businesses to promote themselves overseas, including everything from social media tiles to email marketing templates, dedicated websites and infographics explaining some of New Zealand's key tech selling points. Farming Services Group PGG Wrightson has reported record half-year earnings on the back of a buoyant agricultural economy. Net profit for the 6 months to December of $22.5 million was up 32% on the same period a year earlier. Revenue gained 10.6% to $552.4 million. Chief Executive Stephen Guerin picked out the company's retail and water segment as a highlight. He said the first 6 months of the 2022 financial year have resulted in the strongest first-half trading for retail and water on record. The company declared a fully imputed dividend of 14 cents, up from 12 cents a year earlier. Tighter responsible lending rules have hit Heartland Bank and related lender Harmony's consumer finance businesses and may slow growth for the rest of the year, the company says. Heartland has reported a 7.8% increase in net profit to $47.5 million for the 6 months to December, buoyed by an overall 14% growth in lending. But its motor and online home loans business had been affected by changes to the Credit Contracts and Consumer Finance Act, the CCCFA, which came in on December 1st, it said. The banker owns a 10% stake in finance company Harmony and said its loan book also saw decreases. Its total personal lending portfolio declined by 68.5% or $45.7 million in the period. Harmony's loan book was even harder hit, down 98% or $38 million in New Zealand and $18 million in Australia, a 74% drop. The liquidator of failed lender FE Investments, which collapsed in 2020 owing depositors $54.6 million, is seeking funding for potential litigation, with claims for breach of directors' duties a likely course of action. FE Investments loans included significant exposure to 2 Auckland property developments, $11 million to a hotel project at 29 Anzac Avenue, and $15 million to another at 201 Hobson Street. One of its former directors, Tat Kong Shim, was adjudicated bankrupt in February 2021, although his address at the time was unknown, believed to be somewhere in Malaysia. The latest report from Rhys Kane of EY said the liquidator had sought legal advice on breaches of legislation, particularly directors' duties, and is now seeking funding to take further action. The full details of those stories and more are at nbr.co.nz right now. Tomorrow at NBR, in her Right of Centre column, Bridget Morton opines on how National Leader Christopher Luxon's calibrated speech on the politics of division calls it. I'm Paul Brennan. Join me again from around lunchtime tomorrow for the morning's NBR trending stories, then again from 5:30 tomorrow for another NBR Today.